It's the day before the transfer. I just thought I have to document the day before the transfer, right? Like I have to capture what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking, what I've been thinking this whole week, anticipating this day. So I don't know, I'm just recording and we'll see where it leads and what comes of it. Because honestly, like, this is obviously the biggest deal, right? And I'm just like, part of me feels a bajillion things, but it's like all happening so fast that I can't even like comprehend or process what I'm feeling. And then the other part of me is like, I just feel still, like I'm just at peace. I feel like I was more anxious for my second lining check appointment last week than I am right now. Well, before we like actually try to get into my thoughts and before I actually try to articulate how I'm feeling, let me just catch you guys up. In the meantime, since my hysteroscopy, which I think, I'm like, when was the last time I even recorded? I know it's been a hot minute since I picked up this camera. I've been recording a lot of short form stuff on my phone. Nonetheless, it's been a while. And I think today I'm actually gonna post the video I have of me getting my embryo results. So that's where we're at. So online, it appears that I am like just now recovering from the egg retrieval and getting all these big updates about our eggs. When in reality, I'm planning on getting pregnant tomorrow. So just figuring out like, how much information do I tell people in person, and like what do I still keep to myself and what do I let people think online? Like, that's been a weird part of the journey that I haven't experienced before, because I've been so open and honest with everyone and anyone who asks about my journey, and everything has been kind of current. And even with my YouTube videos, like overall just trying to keep things mirroring what I'm actually going through. But with our IVF journey, I decided to delay posting all that because I wanted to be a little more strategic about it. And I wanted to take my time to not just like process myself and with my husband and just like be present in the process. But I also wanted to like take my time and edit and put things together and like release it in a strategic way, just so everything is like organized, especially because this feels like it's our last stop. So I'm like, this might be my only chance to really like slow down and take the time to edit this kind of footage. So I knew going into it that I would be posting very delayed videos. I just really wasn't fully expecting like the questions and how that would make me feel. And I can't blame anyone who asks. Like, I love that people are so invested and that they care. Like, that just goes a long way. And I love it all, no matter who it is. Like, I love that they take the time to ask. And side note, for anyone who is going through this journey or who is wanting to know how to support someone in this journey, like, at least for me, asking matters. And just knowing that I have so many people that are invested and are texting me or calling me and just checking in, like, that goes a really long way. So I know it can feel like such a daunting task, or, you know, it is still a sensitive subject. Not everyone is as open as me, I'm aware. But like, if you're really close with someone and it is someone you truly love and you know that they're going through infertility or IVF or a hard time, honestly, I think just pushing past that awkward walking on eggshells moment and just ask, just say, hey, how are you really doing? Like, how are you doing with all these appointments? I'm sure driving all around town, checking off all these boxes, getting all these tests done, doing all this blood work, like, I'm sure that's gotta wear on you. Like, do you wanna talk about it? Like, I'm here to talk. I'm here to support you. What do you need? Can I bring you dinner? Because I know sometimes you're just so focused on doing your injections at the right time that sometimes you might eat dinner a little late, or you might forget to go to the grocery store. Like, can I bring you something? Can I just sit with you? Like, if you're willing, do you want to include me in this process? Like, do you need a ride to an appointment? Like, what can I do? And also just, how are you? So at least for me, having people just straight up ask me how things are going has been really, really nice, and is just a nice, simple reminder that like there are people out there I can lean on. I need to allow myself to let people in, because it makes all the difference. And it's so healing and therapeutic to do such a hard journey with so many people, to know I'm not alone, but also to know that there's so many people I can call on when I do feel alone. And just to also know that there's so many people praying and caring about us, that we have so much more motivation to really get through this journey and get to that other side. So that's just a little tidbit, a little note to self for anyone who's trying to figure out, how do I support my friend or my cousin or my sister or my neighbor who I know is struggling, or who I know is going through fertility treatments? Like, just reach out. And if you offend them, or if they don't want to talk about it because it is a sensitive subject, or they're not at that point, they don't feel like they can open up yet, like, trust me, just knowing that someone reached out and someone cares, when that person is ready to open up, they at least know who they can go to. Anyways, what am I even getting at? I also need to be watching the clock because I have to leave here in like 30 minutes for Bible study. Whew, okay, back on track. I'm a total open book, and that didn't happen overnight. If you've been following my journey from the beginning, then you know it was a struggle at first to open up and to let people in and just admit that I'm going through something hard. Like, let's be honest, sometimes it's just hard to admit that you're human. Even though we're all human and we're all going through something, you just sometimes want to come across like everything's okay and you have it all together, and just leave me alone and let me deal with my stuff in secret, because sometimes it's easier that way and you don't want to burden people with things. But when you truly let people in, and more importantly, when you believe what the Bible says about community and how God's designed this whole life thing, like, we're supposed to bear each other's burdens. We're supposed to do life together. And when you get over that hump and you accept that, you take that little leap of faith and post your journey online, or you let in a close friend and you just come clean about what you're going through or how you're struggling, like, then it becomes easier and easier. And then you actually start to see the fruit of community, and you start to experience what God has for you, and you truly feel the beauty of community and all its design, and you reap the benefits of that. So that's also just a little piece of encouragement to anyone out there listening. Don't be afraid to share. I'm not saying you have to share it with the internet like I am, but share with somebody, because you never know how he wants to speak to you through someone else. But it takes you first initiating that or opening up, and then you get to receive whatever God has for you from that person. Maybe it's nothing, maybe it's everything. And since sharing my story and opening up online, not just online, but to my close circle, to my small group, to my family, it's just been so beautiful to see how they've stepped up and how they've loved me in a deeper way. And it's just really opened my eyes to like, whoa, this is really what true friendship and true community and what the body of Christ is like. Of course, it just fuels me to want to repay that and be that same friend to them whenever they're struggling or whenever they're going through something hard. Aside from now posting my IVF journey online, what have I been doing in real time? So I had my hysteroscopy, and then I had to kind of finish out that week with birth control, because that was the protocol that I'm on. My doctor placed me on birth control basically for that whole month of February, so that we could kind of quiet things down, pause my cycle, so that we could do those two procedures, the HSG and the hysteroscopy. And so once those two procedures were over, then I just kind of like weaned off birth control. They wanted me to finish out a few days post-surgery, and then it was, I think, 5 days after surgery or something when I was approved to stop birth control. And the only side effect that I've had, honestly, in all of this, because if you guys saw my stims videos, I literally, not exaggerating, had 0 side effects. I felt so normal, like physically, mentally, hormonally. I had 0 side effects. I felt great. I felt like myself. And so then when I started taking birth control, I'm like, hopefully I'm gonna feel the same. But towards the end of taking the birth control, once I feel like my body, I guess, got acclimated to it, I started waking up really hot, like having those hot flashes at night, which I never have really experienced before. But yes, that is a common side effect of birth control, apparently. And also just the shift, going from all the stims to birth control and just everything else my body has been through in the past 60 days. So I'm like, you know what, if this is the worst of it, okay. And then when I got off the birth control to start the transfer process, they put you on 10 days of estrogen pills. And for my protocol, I had to take, I think the pill was like 2 milligrams, super, super tiny. Thank God, because if you know how I am with pills. So it was 2 milligrams and I had to take it 3 times a day. And that's to help thicken my uterine lining. Basically what your body does in a normal natural cycle, but they really wanted to control this and get it to a certain thickness so that I have greater chances of being successful when they put an embryo in. So I started taking the estrogen pills, and then I think the shift from birth control to estrogen, I not only was waking up with the hot flashes, I was waking up with the night sweats, which apparently was also a side effect of the estrogen. So that was great. Those have been kind of the only symptoms I've had even up until this day. And so when I started estrogen on the first day, they did a lining check. And at the time it was like 5 millimeters. So then after 10 days of taking the estrogen to boost my lining and thicken it, they were gonna measure me again. So I went in for my second lining check, which was now almost a week ago. And I don't know why, but I was so anxious because heaven forbid, I'm like, if my lining's not thick enough, like it could delay the process, or heaven forbid, it could cancel the whole process and we have to just like wait it out and start this part all over again. I don't know, you kind of start. I realized that going through IVF, which is a brand new experience for me, it's also causing me to have brand new intrusive thoughts and feel things I've never felt before and think things I've never thought before. So that's also very new and just a part of the journey that I wasn't anticipating. But again, here we are. I have all these irrational fears that came out of nowhere, all because of IVF. So if that's you and you can relate to that, you're definitely not alone, and just know that it's normal, right? So the measurement that they prefer is between like, I think 8 and 14 millimeters. That's kind of like how thick they like your uterus to be, to indicate, okay, from now on, you're good moving forward. We can continue the rest of this transfer process. And now you can start your progesterone injections, which will also help with the thickness and the stickiness of your uterus, because ultimately that's what we want. So that when we go in on transfer day to put in the embryo, it sticks and it has a nice, fluffy, sticky environment to grow in. This all happens in a woman's normal cycle. They're just boosting me with extra stuff than what my body would normally produce to just really be safe. Thankfully, when I went in for my second lining check, my uterine lining was measuring around like 12 millimeters. So praise God. So we were cleared to start the progesterone injections, which, since I have a 5-day embryo, still can't believe it, I had to start taking progesterone 5 days before the transfer. So that meant that the following day, which was a Saturday, I got the green light to take my first progesterone injection, which up until this point, I've known about these injections. I've done my research, I've talked to my girls who have gone through it, and it was kind of the same thing with stims. Like, I heard every experience all over the spectrum. They were okay, they're fine, you'll get through it. I had severe headaches, I got dizzy, I had to take off work for days, I was couch bound, it was painful, it's the worst. So I didn't really know what to think. And that, combined with all the research that I did around these specific injections, I was like, Lord, just quiet my soul, because I just want to get this over with, and please let it be a positive experience. just kind of like the rest of everything has been. I feel like the old Janae, years ago, like would wince at needles and the thought of blood work and this and that, but I've just come such a long way, and I think God has used this process to also help kind of tear down some of those walls. And I think it's all gonna make me better, because I know this isn't the end of blood work or the end of doctor's appointments, and like, Lord willing, when we have kids, like they're gonna have to go through their own appointments and injuries and things like that. So I think maybe God is also using this to like toughen me up a little. Who knows what he's up to. So nonetheless, I started the progesterone injections, and I took my first one bright and early in the morning. But since I'm a nighttime girly, my clinic did give me the option to switch to nighttime injections, but I had to still do that morning one first, and then on that same day, I could take a nighttime one, and then I would stick to that time for the rest of the injection journey. Thankfully, the first one went off without a hitch, and it was great. I was a little sore a few hours after that first injection. I don't think we warmed it up enough, but you know, we're tweaking things as it goes and learning as it goes to make things better and seamless and quicker. I've had 0 side effects, and I've just been able to do my thing and go about my day and be myself and feel great. And I'm very, very thankful that that is my reality right now. Again, I'm only 5 days into progesterone, but I'm, what, 15 days into estrogen, and I don't know, I'm just trying to appreciate the small stuff and like take it one day at a time and just be thankful that right now I don't feel any different. I feel great. The injections are painless, at least for me. So it's really been an easy journey for me so far. But all of this has led us to tomorrow, which I still can't believe that's like, is this real life? All that to say, how am I feeling? What is it like to prepare for a transfer? And also, what is it like to mentally digest the fact that like, I know the date and time that I'm gonna try to get pregnant? Like, this whole fertility journey, you just kind of take your best guess. And you can try to schedule things as best as you can, but even still, you can't pinpoint that exact moment when you conceive or when you ovulate or when you, I mean, you can get really good at it. And I know some of my friends have gotten really good at it, but overall you're dealing with fertility windows and a time frame and a cycle. Like, all of these things have kind of a longer stretch of time. And then here comes IVF, and it's like, no, on March 19th at 12:30 p.m., you're gonna get pregnant. And as weird as that might feel or sound initially, like, being in it, I actually find comfort in like just knowing and having dates and times to put on my calendar and look forward to and pray about. Like, it's just very clear, and it's just not something I'm used to, being down this infertility road for over 3.5 years now. Like, so it's actually really nice to have some concrete numbers and dates and results after not having that for so long. So I'm actually just initially feeling very excited and just very at peace knowing like that's the day and time. So until then, I can just be out here living my life, doing my thing, because I know Thursday's coming. Like, I don't know if any of that makes sense, but if you know, you know. And so this whole week, I've kind of just been doing a little bit more self-care. I went and got a facial yesterday. I've been working out every morning and just having some sense of normalcy, and having my morning routine back has also felt really nice. Honestly, ever since starting this IVF journey back in January, your routine easily gets thrown off, or you just have to create new routines because now you're including medicine or you're including injections and things have to be on a timely manner. So you have to make adjustments, and like, because what else are you gonna do? Like, this is just the reality of IVF and fertility treatments. And so because you're doing things differently to your body, you can't work out as hard, or you can't do this, or you have to stay away from this. And it's like, okay, this is temporary, just embrace it. It's all gonna be over soon, and it's all gonna be worth it, more importantly. And so just this week, feeling like I have some sense of control back in my mornings, in my schedule, and just being able to simply work out again. has been really nice. And we have friends coming in town this weekend, so I've also just been naturally looking forward to that, and that's been like a happy distraction. Alex is running his half marathon, so we just got lots of fun stuff to look forward to and be excited about beyond just like getting pregnant tomorrow. So I think a lot of that's just kind of like preoccupied my mind. Yes, we're finally at this point in our journey, and I can't believe it, how fast it's gone by. But it's also like, we're at this point in our journey. Am I sure I actually want to find out if this all worked or not? Because it's like my life literally depends on this moment. That's what it feels like. It feels like such a big moment, like the biggest moment in my life other than saying yes to my husband, like, and of course accepting Jesus. Okay, you get it. But it's like the answer of this last part of the process determines quite literally the rest of my year and my life. And it's either gonna become another chapter in the book of infertility, or it's gonna start a new chapter of pregnancy. And we don't have any other embryos to work with. We don't have any chilling in the bank for us like I was originally hoping. But God had other plans. Is this the baby for us? Like, is this actually our time? And like getting that clarity one way or another, like having an answer is better than nothing, right? And just like getting that full, bold, black and white answer from God is gonna feel good in one way or another. Like, it might suck if it's, you know, not the answer I want, but like just having that clarity will bring some sort of peace. Like when all the dust settles, I know it will. Like, did everything lead us up to here for this to literally be the chosen embryo, the one that made it out alive, the strong one, the 10th one? I don't know. Like, but we're gonna get our answers one way or another. So there's comfort in that. But I'm also like, there's also kind of weirdly been comfort in the limbo. So I don't really know how I feel. I feel a lot of things and I think a lot of things. And I think I need to leave for my Bible study now. But it is kind of wild, right? It's kind of wild. I also just want to say the friends and the family that do know what I'm going through in real time, they've just stepped up in even more ways than I could have imagined, and even more ways than they already have. And I am choosing to keep this part of the process secret from some of my close friends and family, not for anything other than just because like I want to share in that joy of like fully surprising them, not like half surprising them. Like, I don't want them to anticipate, okay, we know the transfer's on this day, so like Janae's gonna call us in 2 weeks, or if she doesn't call us, what's happening? And like, I don't know how all that's gonna feel when it's reality, but this is the journey that God has called me to, and he placed it on my heart to let people in, and so it just comes with the territory, and so we'll cross that bridge when we get there. And so specifically, I wanna mention one of my friends, shout out to Britt. Oh my gosh, she literally came up to the church yesterday while I was working with her 4 kiddos. And first of all, she brought me a bowl of pineapple, which if you know, you know, I guess it's like a thing with IVF. I don't know, it doesn't matter. It was a cute gesture. She brought me a bowl of pineapple, and then each one of her kids hand wrote me a card, and they each drew a pineapple on their card, and they said really sweet things. And of course I lost it. Of course. I bawled my eyes out. And no, it's not the hormones. It's the pure gratitude that I have for these friendships, and also just the pure, like, overwhelming comfort I feel from the Lord through his people time and time again. And so just that the Lord would love me in this very specific way and take the time to place it on a friend's heart, to go out of her way, to come to the church with her kids and like have this moment with me. It just makes me see God. That's really all it is. Of course, I see my friend and I'm very thankful for her, but beyond that, it points me to Jesus. And another side note, that's why it's so important to have Jesus loving friends in your life, people that are on the literal same page as you and share that faith with you, because they just get it. They just get it. And then lastly, my friend pulls out a jewelry box and she gives me this beautiful ring. I don't know if you guys can see it. And it's silver, so it's in my color palette. My girl knows. And it has these little itty bitty like pearls and diamonds. And she said it reminded her of eggs, which I thought that was just hilarious. Oh, my husband's calling me. This is my cue to wrap it up because I really have to leave. And then after she gave me the ring, which she bought herself a matching one, she was like, okay kids, like find a spot on Janae, like we're gonna pray over her. And so they all laid their hands on me and I just got to hear the words of God's children, literally, and just like their sweet, innocent souls. And like, you can tell like their mom, my friend, like educates them in what I'm going through and is setting that example of like, we need to pray as a family, and this is why prayer is important, and we gotta surround our loved ones in prayer when they're going through hard stuff. And so like, there was so much going through my mind in that moment, but it was just so special and sweet in so many ways. And so I'm just thankful that God sends me people like that to keep me going and to encourage me. And then another moment, Alex whips out this shirt that he's gonna wear to the transfer tomorrow. But of course, when he showed me this, I bawled my eyes out too. And then he proceeds to show me these like socks that he bought me to wear for tomorrow. And it's just like one thing after the next. I'm like, God is just loving me so well. And he knows what I need. Obviously he's God, but it's just like, I've been crying a lot this week on top of everything else, but it's been good cries. And it's just crazy that we're here. It's crazy that we're here. So I'm sure I'll be praying a lot tonight, listening to a lot of worship music tomorrow on the car ride to Tampa. I have to arrive with a full bladder, and from my understanding, it should be a 60-second procedure. My parents are gonna meet me there because they're so sweet, and I love that they want to be included in any way. And then I made lunch reservations already at one of my favorite spots in the area. So we're gonna have lunch together, and I'm gonna eat all the French fries I can because apparently that's a thing too with the pineapple. And so you don't have to tell me twice. And it's just like, it's all happening. It's all happening, and it's all good stuff. And hopefully there's more good stuff to come. And I'm just gonna soak it in while I can. Right now I'm feeling good. I'm excited. And so I don't wanna think about the future, think about anything else. Like, I just wanna enjoy the joy. Whew, we're here, guys, we're here. So just hang on tight a little bit longer because we're almost at the end, Lord willing. And Lord willing, we can all celebrate together. And I'll be popping on here with a pregnancy announcement. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. I gotta guard my heart, take it one day at a time. God's got a good plan. And if I'm not meant to meet this embryo and to grow this embryo and have this be our time, like, I know it's for a good, loving reason. And we'll just have to do it all again. Okay, well, as I always say, this video is already way too long, and now I'm running late to my Bible study. I gotta call my husband back. So many things, but I feel like this was kind of a priority. Like, I know my future self will thank me. Like, this is me with an empty uterus. I don't know what it's like to be pregnant, and this is me before all of that. But tomorrow, all of that will change. Lord, just give me the strength. Am I even gonna be able to sleep tonight? Okay, that's all for now. Stay tuned, bye.